One of the biggest names in money, finance, investing, Pantera Capital's Dan Morehead goes in and talks about how so many people are underexposed to what's coming in crypto. My name's Coach Ty. Stay tuned. I always tell everybody, follow the money. If you follow the money, then you're probably going to make money. If you follow people who are poor and broke, you're probably going to be poor and broke. So that's what we're going to be doing today. This is Fast Money, CNBC. Maybe you don't like the mainstream media, this and that, whatever, but they're going to help pump our bags. And again, we have Dan Morehead of Pantera Capital talking today. We're going to have some reaction to it. I haven't actually watched this video yet. It's the first time, so let's get started.
He's here on set with us, Pantera Capital founder and managing partner, Dan Morehead. Dan, great to see you again.
Great to see you.
So this was a great year for crypto. Next year is going to be even better.
Yeah.
And on what? Because a lot of this year feels like pull forward of the expectation that something will happen in the regulatory environment that will be very beneficial for Bitcoin and crypto in general. And we don't even know.
All right, I'm going to stop it right there. This year, meaning 2024, has been a big year for crypto. Obviously, we see Bitcoin hitting all-time highs, approaching $110,000 per Bitcoin. Yeah, it's been a big year, but I think 2025 is going to be a much bigger year. And like she's saying, because I've been telling you guys this for years, that 2025 was going to be a big year, specifically if we have the incoming president of Donald Trump. And well, now obviously we know that's happening, and we know that he's very bullish on crypto, and so is his administration.
Bitcoin is going to the moon, as we say. It's going to the moon. I want America to be the nation that leads the way, and that's what's going to happen.
For the first time in history, we have a pro-crypto president. It's enough said. You're going to have regulation coming in. And we've been talking about this forever, and this is going to be super, super bullish for crypto.
What that is.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. The uncertainty, we're holding investors back. And I think over 2025, you're going to get much more clear regulations, and that'll allow institutions to come into the space. And presently, most institutions really have almost zero exposure to blockchain. So once they start engaging in the space, it should do well.
So this fund that you run is an institutional fund, correct?
Yeah.
So what kind of conversations are you having now to segue into that time when institutions can actually allocate money?
Oh, it's really changed since the election. Last summer, when the markets were very low and we had very little interest, and since the election, so many people are trying to figure out how to get exposure to the space.
When you hear a Microsoft, I think Michael Saylor just pitched the whole Bitcoin strategy of MicroStrategies to Microsoft. They passed. I think they might have passed in a prior lifetime, but they passed recently. Thoughts on that, he is obviously pushing that, but a lot of people are sort of backing away. I mean, is there another company that has to come in to sort of galvanize what Michael's done?
He's done a great job, raising awareness, but probably most big corporations are not going to have Bitcoin on their balance sheet, just like they don't have yen or bonds or, gold or whatever. But big institutions, insurance companies, pension plans, endowments, they're the ones that are going to come in and really push this market up.
So what's preventing them right now, those big institutions? I mean, for some of them, I think there seems to be nothing preventing them. But what are some of the regulations that would be lifted that would allow that to happen?
Well, it's been very unclear what is a security and what is not a security. The regulators in the U.S. are pursuing lawsuits against some of the bigger companies in this space, and so that gives institutions pause. If that gets cleared up, you could imagine institutions wanting to get access to a new asset class. This is very similar to commodities in the 80s or emerging markets in the 90s or mortgages in the 70s and 80s. It's just a new asset class.
He makes a good point. And you look at companies like Coinbase who went public. If you don't know who Coinbase is, if you're new, Coinbase is really the on-ramp to crypto. And Coinbase is obviously a publicly traded company on the New York Stock Exchange. And the craziest part about it is that they were given a Wells notice. Basically it's like a cease and desist, like basically stop what you're doing. What I don't understand about that is they already went to the SEC years ago and said, this is what we're doing. The SEC approved it, and they got listed on the New York Stock Exchange. And then the SEC started moving the goalpost. And what it did is it stifled the innovation and it stifled the buying of crypto. What he's alluding to here is, like, this happens in almost every industry. You have some type of regulatory body fighting it and fighting it and fighting it and fighting it until they can't really fight it anymore. And now the big money's finally getting in. And you're going to notice that, I mean, yes, I know this is on the mainstream media, but it really hasn't blown up yet. And most people are not getting in. If you're wondering if you're late, I do not think you're late. I think you're really early, but you're going to want to get in before these guys get in. And they're just starting to get in. Regulation's still not here yet, but because of the incoming presidency, they think that regulation is coming. So they're trying to, they're trying to get ahead.
Most people don't have exposure to it yet.
Dan, people keep talking about regulation or more clarity and the like here. How much of this move do you think has to do with, and Trump had been saying this on the campaign trail, the idea of some sort of Bitcoin reserve for the country? And, is that a big part of this? Or obviously there's a lot of moving parts here. What are you most excited about? What could come out of this other than regulation?
I think that is actually a really important thing. When you're the reserve currency of the world, you don't have somebody else's currency to save in. So the United States doesn't have another currency. It stores $600 billion in gold, which is a staggering amount. It's equivalent to 11 million years of American worker wages. So that's kind of crazy. Go to digital gold, Bitcoin. It's much better. And so I do think it's totally rational. The U.S. already owns 1% of the world's Bitcoins. Keep that, increase that. So I do think it is actually a really good policy. There's a couple countries that already do own Bitcoin. It'd be great for the U.S. to get out in the lead.
How do you manage the portfolio in terms of, you have outsized positions now just because of the run. And so where are you trimming, or where have you trimmed, and what are some of the more undervalued cryptos out there?
Yeah, so the fun bit about cryptos, we've been doing this for 11 years, and Bitcoin's almost gone a little bit more than doubled this year. And so everyone's talking about, isn't that wild, it doubled? On average, it's done that for 11 years in a row, right? So crypto going up double is not remarkable, actually. And so we're normally long because we think the markets are going to go up, another huge amount, like another order of magnitude possibly. So we're typically long. We're always just looking at which other tokens are interesting. We have a big position in TON, Telegram's token, Solana, Ondo. Those are some of ours.
Did you hear that? You guys have been following me. I've been talking about Ondo forever, right? Ondo is BlackRock's baby. And like I said in the beginning of this video, if you follow the money, that's how you win. You can either follow somebody broke and get led to the slaughterhouse. You can live a boring, basic life, or you can follow where the wealthy people are putting their money. And clearly, it's crypto. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys double tap the screen or like the video. Make sure you're following if you're not following. And until next time, I'm Coach Ty. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.